come here. I have a confession to make. I actually own 6 boats. I know. It's bad or good. I'm not really sure anymore. I think I need to attend a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. Anyway, so I went to the Annapolis Sailboat Show, and what a dangerous place for me to be. It's a good thing that I was able to distract myself from buying another boat by finding out the stories behind some of the people who were in attendance. Allow me to introduce you to Phillip Berman, owner and president of Balance Catamarans, which, if you have yet to step foot on a Balance Catamaran, you are missing out on the comfort and performance they offer. Now, to preface this video, Balance Catamaran does not compensate social media influencers and has not sponsored this video in any way. They have, however, been gracious enough to provide us with some additional footage to help tell the story of Phil Berman and Balance Catamarans. We're Murray, Heather, Eve, and Pearl Ginnick. We're a Canadian family of 4 who is always planning our next adventure. Winters are long and summers are short, so we try to make the most of each season. Oh, and if you're new here, in September 2022, we bought this project sailboat. Our plan is to get the boat splash ready for sometime in 2025 so we can sail south. Join us if you like watching boat work, roadside adventures, and trips to escape the winter blues. Hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on Ginnick's on the Go.
I'm Phil Berman from Balance Catamarans, and I've just been asked a question by Heather about my background and my life and how Balance came to be. It started in Southern California. I was a young surfer boy, and I had a paper out, and I came across a little boat called Hobie Cat, and it was in the backyard of one of my customers. And I said, I want that boat so bad. And he said, well, I'll sell that boat to you. And then I had a bar mitzvah, and I got some money at age 13, and by God, I bought that Hobie Cat. And then I started racing Hobie Cats, and I ended up writing the first books on racing Hobie Cats and sailing Hobie Cats, and then I was the world champion from 1979 to 82. I traveled around the world lecturing on catamaran racing, beach cat racing. In fact, I was in Australia for 3 months doing that and all over Europe. And then I went to graduate school and kind of drifted away from sailboat racing, but I always had sailboats. I studied philosophy and religion for many years, did books in that field. And then I started a catamaran brokerage company about 2 decades ago. Then we grew it into the largest, used catamaran company. We ended up selling about 125 used cats a year. So I got my graduate education in catamarans by attending yacht surveys all around the world. Australia, Thailand, whatever. So I attended surveys. And the beautiful thing was I got to see all of the flaws in fabrication. I got to myself understand the flaws in design, or what I felt were flaws in design. And I got to hear what the sellers had to say when they sold their boats. Why did you sell your boat? What did you like about your boat? What didn't you like about it? So then in around 2011, 2012, I said, you know what? I've got to design my own catamaran because I don't believe that the catamarans that are existing in the marketplace really are, in my opinion, ideal. So I contacted dear friends of mine in South Africa that were boat builders, and we elected to start building catamarans and designing catamarans. I joined Anton du Toit, a South African architect, and he and I designed the boats together. My feedback came from market experience, from listening to customers, issues of headroom, spaces, storage, ergonomics, all the things that lead to what I believe is a really livable boat. But the other really critical thing for us was the livability and the ability to operate the boat shorthanded. How can you make a performance catamaran that could be single-handed? It was always really important to me. That's why we invented the VersaHelm, to have a cold weather piloting station, a warm weather piloting station, mechanical steering, and then you're viewing me through these glass windows. The sight lines on the Balance Catamaran are the best in the industry because that's the most important thing to me is when you're sailing, you always want to be able to be connected to the outside and you want to be able to see everything. Up top, you want to see all 4 corners. Down below, you want to see all 4 corners. Super important. United States Coast Guard done study after study, and the vast majority of boating accidents occur from bad sightlines. Collisions come from bad sightlines. So there's nothing more relaxing than being in a boat in crowded waters and wherever you're standing, being able to see what's going on so that you're avoiding any collisions and what have you. So we grew Balance very slowly and organically, which is the only way you can actually grow a company properly. So in the first year, we built 2 boats, and then the next year we built 3 boats. The next year we built 4 boats, and we kept getting customer feedback, iterating, improving the designs, and that then led to us designing the Balance 482, which is a smaller boat than this 526, and then the Balance 442. And 2 weeks, we're launching our first 75, which is a really beautiful, beautiful boat. And in about a month, we're launching our first 580, our first 58 footer. So we're now the fastest growing, catamaran company in the world. And what's been really interesting is that you could still call us boutique, but now we've scaled to the point where we're truly a mid-sized company. And with that comes the ability to offer service and support globally, to have sail training programs, a robust video site. Like on our site, our owners have access to videos on every aspect of handling, maintaining, troubleshooting their catamarans. We have sail training, and we have a warranty service and support center in Grenada here on the Chesapeake Bay. With those resources and the volume that we have, we can really have what I would call a proper company in terms of service and support. When we started with just a couple of boats, you obviously feasibly cannot have service centers around the world and full-time warranty staff, and as you grow. So that's the story of Balance. Really, we build performance-oriented, comfortable cruising boats that people can operate themselves. Access to everything for repair. If you go through our boats, you will see that there's nothing you can't access to repair. The water maker's inside the boat, the pumps are inside the boat. We try and make it easy to maintain the boats, operate the boats. We're a huge 48-volt lithium company. We partner with Integral Solutions, which I know you talk with. We were the first company to pioneer with Integral. These alternators that they did over 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we put them in our boats. We worked with them as partners. And now we're working with them on their new hybrid e-drive. Great company, great service, great support. We have a really strong relationship. They've done a lot for us, and we've done a lot for them, in partnership. Mm-hmm. I'd say we've guinea pigged a little bit because we've stepped out to try the technology. And initially with the alternators, we had some conniptions, but we got it sorted with them. And now none of our boats have generators. We don't have generators on our catamarans. You burn less fuel, you have less maintenance, and you reduce weight, which obviously is really important on a catamaran. To put on an 11 kW, 12 kW generator on one of these catamarans, you're adding about 650 pounds. You have another engine that you have to take care of. You're burning more fossil fuel. So with these alternators, we've really improved catamaran, performance, I think, and also made them greener in a way. That is one thing I talk about a lot. The greenest boat is a sailboat, and the greenest sailboat is a sailboat that's sailing more often than motoring. And the great thing about a performance catamaran like this is that we'll be doing wind speed in 7 knots of wind, 6 knots of wind. So I was talking to a guy that builds power boats, and they build a 55-foot power boat that's got 4 700 horsepower engines on the back, and the boat goes 50 knots. And I said, well, how much fuel does that boat burn in an hour? It was 280 gallons of fuel. I said, my God, that's the amount of fuel that we burn from Cape Town to Grenada on a Balance Catamaran.
That's crazy.
Okay. That is crazy, right? But remember, you're sailing all the time. In fact, most of the fuel that we burn on the passage up from Cape Town is when we go through the doldrums.
Yeah.
We're just having to motor at a low speed to get through the doldrums. So I think that the catamarans are green. All Balance catamarans are what we call a carbon cross. We use carbon in all the high load areas of our catamarans. And on the 526, it's a carbon epoxy construction, all epoxy. In our smaller models, it's a vinyl ester carbon e-glass structure. Okay. On our new 502 and our 464, the entire substructure of the boat isn't carbon. The floors, the bulkheads, the partition panels, the daggerboard trunks, the daggerboards, the rudders, the primary beams. So you have this whole carbon structure, and then around it we wrap e-glass and foam. It leads to a very light boat, very stiff boat, but not a boat that's crazy noisy, because when you do all carbon hulls, carbon doesn't give it all. It's very, very noisy. So in our opinion, that's the best approach to building a light, performance catamaran. So.
Thank you so much for sticking with us. That's the story of how Balance Catamarans came to be, and Phillip Berman. Amazing man, super personable, and I appreciate his time so much. Here's a quick little tour while we close out this episode of the Balance 526. That was the boat where I interviewed Phil. Beautiful boat, and if I had, I think it's about 1.7 million, I would buy that boat. Not a second thought about it. Just a beautiful boat. And just for anybody who is concerned about me buying a 7th boat, no, I did not buy another boat at the Annapolis Sailboat. I think 6 is enough for now. And if you want to know the story about how I have 6 boats, let me know in the comments. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because sometimes I just get itchy and put out a new video other than my bi-weekly episodes, and I'm trying to keep the bi-weekly episodes to boat work for you. So let me know in the comments if you want more videos like this. I have a bunch more coming out, and even if you don't want them, I think I'll probably release them. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Oh, and a special thank you to this short little Aussie dude over here. His name is Graham Henderson, and he is just a spectacular person to have met at the Annapolis Sailboat Show. So thanks, Graham.